I changed as a mom when my second daughter, Thea, was born. This is not a story about how I became a mother. It is not a birth story, as I did not give birth to her. My wife did. This isn't a story about how breastfeeding was challenging. It was, with both daughters. Or about how the transition from 1 to 2 totally blew our minds. This is a story about being a mommy in my two-mom house and being mommy as the non-birth or breastfeeding parent to Thea when I was all of those things to our first child, Ari. I loved being pregnant with Ari. I had a magical birth experience. I loved breastfeeding and nursed her till she was 3. When we first talked about having kids at all, my wife was unsure if she wanted to be pregnant or give birth. So after Ari was born, I hoped to carry the second because I loved so much about being the birth and breastfeeding parent. When my wife decided to carry our second child, a decision I fully supported, I also felt sadness. Sadness about not being pregnant, sadness about not giving birth again, and lots of sadness about not ever nursing a baby again. While I was excited for my wife and was reminded about all the unpleasant parts of pregnancy, heartburn, never finding a comfortable position to sleep in or sit in or be in, and that end of pregnancy waddle, it was hard to let go of that feeling of loss. What I didn't think about was all the new ways I would be a mother to Thea that I was not with Ari. With Thea, I was so present during those early weeks. I got to bond and care for her in new ways. I have a vivid memory of changing her diaper, the pale winter light coming through our bedroom window, the coldness seeping through the glass. I was trying to change her quickly so I could bundle her back up. And I remember stopping and looking at her and just noticing what a tiny little person she was and how squiggly and how beautiful. Being the non-birth or breastfeeding parent allowed me to take the time to stop and notice the little things. On that same table, a few weeks later, I remember Thea's crooked little first smile, her eyes open, looking at my face. Thea is a much better sleeper than Ari. So much better. Even when she was 9 months old. And I got to help her with that. One of my favorite things about being home with Thea was putting her down for naps. She would, and still does, go happily in her sleep sack. When she was 9 months old, we started working on helping her fall asleep by herself for naps. I would give her a bottle of my wife's breast milk, and she would fall asleep in my arms. Is there anything more beautiful than a sleeping baby? It wasn't just her peaceful face, which I could barely see in the light coming through the corners of our blackout shades. It was the weight of her, the soft breathing, and how she snuggled into my body. Those moments in the rocking chair, holding her, rocking her, waiting to put her in her crib, felt so different than the times I was waiting to unlatch Ari from my breast and have my body back until she woke up. Something about Thea's consistency and my role in that felt less chaotic, more peaceful, more successful. I loved snuggling her in those moments because I knew I would be able to put her down. I wasn't trapped, I was just enjoying that beautiful face. Some of that, of course, is temperament, and my daughters have very different temperaments. But a lot of what made that possible was how I had changed as a mother, and how mothering was more than nursing for me with this baby Thea. I've been the primary stay-at-home parent with both kids, and with Thea, I learned so many new ways to be a mom. I learned how to soothe her and sing to her and comfort her. As she is growing, we dance together and talk together. She still asks for Mama throughout the day and runs to her when she comes home. And I am still surprised when we are both there and she wants to snuggle with me instead of Mama. But our love is deep and our love is special. It is also different. I think often in our world, and especially in my community, We want to pretend that it is not different to be the non-birth or breastfeeding parent. But we miss something special when we do that. I love seeing my wife smile and Thea. They have the same sense of humor, too. But I also see myself, because I am her mommy, and I sing with her and love her and raise her. It is not the same bond she has with my wife, nor the bond that I have with Ari, but it is a new piece of my motherhood. It is evolving, it is different, and it is beautiful.